didn't know what we were doing when we planned this adventure. The general idea was to take unicycles from Durban to Cape Town, off-road, 2,500 kilometers. For some reason, which I can't explain, this has never been done before. But people have done some other things. People have ridden bicycles across the country. People have ridden unicycles across the country. So I realized that there was a whole pool of people's experiences which we could dip into to help us along our journey. It took us about a year of planning to get this adventure right, and we were very excited about it. We needed a lot of people's help. So let me first start off by telling you what the omnipotent and ever-accurate Wikipedia says about advice. Wikipedia says that advice is an opinion or a recommendation as a guide to action. So what that means to me is that the intention of advice is to be helpful. This is important to remember because we receive lots of positive and negative advice, and that was essential in planning our trip. Now, opinions differ. Opinions are not truth. So if you ask 100 people what the best backpack is, the best brand to follow, what the most difficult part of the trip is, you will get a lot of different answers. So you need a system with which to sort through all of these differing opinions and differing truths. So I'm going to put together a short little algorithm which I've retrospectively developed to assess all of the various opinions and advice that you receive from people. So the first thing you need to assess is the person who is talking to you. You need to see their background experience. Invariably, the many people who told us that what we were trying to do was absolutely impossible, they were armchair adventurers. They were people who have never done something like this in their lives. And it's the people who themselves were told what they wanted to do was impossible who actually gave us good advice. Oh shit, I look back at the slides, I'm sorry. The second thing you need to do is assess the relevance of their background experience to the opinion that you were getting. So in the previous slide, which I just looked back at, which I'm not supposed to do, somebody recommended a Toyota Quantum for our trip, which was a bad idea. They didn't have an understanding of South African geography and weather patterns. The next thing that you need to assess is the relevance of their experience to your actual trip. I just spoke about that. They need to understand the uniqueness of your adventure. So we were unicycling, and it's not simply a one-wheeled bike. People don't realize what a unicycle entails and how it's different. So I'm going to show you a couple of things. The first thing about a unicycle is that it's a fixed wheel. There's no free wheel. We have to pedal the whole 2,473 Ks. We were lucky. We had very technically appropriate unicycles. We had gears. We had two. You shift them with your heel, bumping on that button, and you go up by 50%. The other thing, we do have brakes, we do have handlebars, they don't help us to turn, but what this ultimately means is that we're quite slow on a unicycle. Another thing which is really terrible about a unicycle, there's no storage space, which means we have to keep all the weight on our back, and that puts a lot of pressure on certain regional anatomy, which is very particular to men rather than women. So we have to take many breaks, which is actually quite nice because you can tour across the country over 44 days and have a chance to look at all the sites. You have to. There are some very good things about a unicycle, though. Firstly, you can, if you need to walk with a unicycle, it's fantastic. You just hoy it on your shoulder and you trap. The next thing that is cool about a unicycle is that I actually need to look here to do that. Climbing fences is wonderful. You just climb over straight away, and there were a lot of fences to climb. And the other great thing about the unicycle, as you saw previously, you get into a lot of cuck with things, but you can get out of a lot of cuck because you're novel. So now the other thing with advice is you need to assess the level of optimism or pessimism of the person giving you the advice. If somebody says that what you're wanting to do is impossible, and somebody else says you're going to love every moment of it, rest assured, the truth lies somewhere in between. You're going to have a great time and a bad time as well. But now I want to share some advice that we received from people and show how it turned out in reality. The first bit of advice we received was from our blog founder, Mr. Howard Donaldson. He said, you're going to meet the most incredible, beautiful, friendly, happy people on your trip through South Africa. Towards the end of day one, we were riding through an informal settlement on the outskirts of Durban. A very tall, big, bulky Zulu man started running from the top of the hill. Left hand, caught a black label. Right hand, very large stick above his head. I slammed on brakes just in front of him because the stick was above his head. And just after I crapped myself, he blinked. And he said, I thought you were a ghost. It was nighttime and we had these LED headlamps, and it was Saturday. He had a bit to drink. But what then he proceeded to crap on us and say he is the chief of this area and he should be beating us right now for trespassing and pretending to be ghosts. So with some creative apologizing involving Helen Ziller versus Julius Malema and all that stuff, we got out of it. But the key to this is that the next morning, he gave me a call. He said, "Hello, Johnny, this is Nada. Do you remember me from last night?" No. Yes, of course I remember you. He then proceeded to ask me, "Did you get to your destination on time? Did you find your way? Did you have any more hassle? I'm the chief. You're going onto my neighbor's land. If you have any hassles, you've got my phone number. Give me a call, and you can tell them that Nada said it's okay." So thank you, Howard, for that wonderful advice. It proved true for the duration of the trip, even though it seemed like complete rubbish initially. I'm going to have to skip over some of the stories, though, and say thank you to our sponsors. It's a lie. It's not easy to get sponsors if you have a unique trip. That was some bad advice that we received. So to the guys who did support us, who are behind me, thank you very much. I hope that you got the returns that you wanted. Now, the last piece of advice which I must share with you is from my father, Neil Cronje. He was in a very serious motorbike accident on day 10 of our trip. He was hit by a truck. He spent 10 days in ICU. He had 20 units of blood transfused, and thankfully his leg was not amputated as was initially planned. In and out of his periods of unconsciousness and his lucid phases, he would tell my mother, Tess, tell Johnny to keep riding. That was it. That was it. He said, tell Johnny to keep riding. Now, at any point in the trip, if I stopped riding, I would have been very disappointed, angry. I would have taken a bus home, felt like a failure, and then got on with my life. If my dad stopped riding, he would have died. If my dad stops riding now, he will never walk again. So at this point, I want to call up my teammates. Alan, Donna Kirby, please come up onto stage. Thank you. Together, we successfully completed this trip, and I want to share a piece of advice with you that was my inspiration for completing the tour, my motivation for keep going. Anything you face in life, the only way to get through it is very simply to keep riding. And my father sitting at the back there, thank you for being with us. Thank you. Okay, well, I'll explain the basic concept of the unicycle. It's a fixed wheel. You can't freewheel. You can take that one if you want.
No, look.
So what you want to do is firstly put it into low gear. That would be an easy
Will you put it in low gear for me?
It's in low gear for you.
Sweet.
Already. Okay,
right.
You're going to put your left foot over here. You're going to put the saddle underneath you. You're going to rearrange.
My package, yeah.
Jean pants don't work, eh?
Jean pant.
Jean pants. Okay, then what you're going to do is grab onto my shoulder. I'll be here. Up you're going to climb, and then simply you're going to ride.
Oh, yeah! Okay,
easy. Okay.
One more. I want to see you do it from the other side. Right foot first.
From this side? No,
okay.
we'll just stick left foot. We'll keep it basic and simple. Left, right.
Okay, I got you. So I'm holding left hand, left foot. Got you.
Okay, there we go.
I'm ambidextrous. Does that make a difference?
Climb up, and then you ride.
Oh, how easy was that? Okay.
Okay, this is going to be great.
Okay.
Okay, so Alan, I think you.
Yeah, come on this side, buddy.
Everybody over there, you can put your hands up like that.
All right, can I just warn you that I am 127 South African kilograms of quivering passion? So can it take my bulk?
What you see here is probably the most advanced unicycle.
Sweet.
The strongest
all right,
unicycle.
I'm in. Okay, left foot.
Left foot.
Wait, left hand first. Left hand.
Left hand first.
Okay, left foot anywhere.
Well, on the left pedal, that would be start.
Now rearrange package.
Rearrange, if you need to. Some people do, some people
Ladies,
don't.
please look that way. So now?
That's for advanced users. So you can put your left hand on, you're not an advanced user.
Am I not?
No. Okay, what you're going to do, you're going to put your foot there.
Standard grade. Okay.
You're going to climb up and you're going to stop. You're not going to try and move.
Okay, on your mark, get set, go.
Right.
Woo! Honey, yo! So you're going to ride forwards with me?
Yes.
Are you ready? Must I hold on here? Or am I holding you guys?
No, you're
so
on
I'm just riding. Guys are quite strong.
You're doing great.
Okay, wait. So I just want to practice a bit.
Yeah, we will.
Okay, so now I'm at the bottom of my circle. Now just pedal.
That's it.
Wait a minute. Why is it not pedaling?
It happens.
Okay. John.
Hey!